Rivalry, the final chapter on KFDX, is brought to you by Hoover Rogers Law.
This Friday night, Old High and Ryder will meet on the gridiron for the very last time. And leading up to that big game all this week, we're going to bring you stories about the two high schools, their football teams, and their traditions, too. Tonight, in our first story, Curtis Jackson and I are starting with the history surrounding the schools and, of course, surrounding the oftentimes very tense rivalry. Ryder High School opened up in the fall of 1961, but it was not until 1964 that his varsity football team would go head-to-head with Wichita Falls High School's already legendary program. Almost right away, it was on.
They have a rivalry now, but you can't imagine what it was like.
There was some pretty, competitive, kill the coyotes, and so forth.
It was out of control rivalry.
We were kind of a second child, stepchild.
until we started beating them.
When Shirley Foley was born in October 1921, construction was just beginning on the current Wichita Falls High School. Shirley Martin right here.
That's it. That's me.
During Foley's years as a Coyote, S.H. Ryder was still principal after many years, and during her senior year, the football team went to state.
1937, they went to state for the first time in history, jumping up and down and shouting. Every Friday night, we were down at the canyon, filling it up.
Wichita Falls High School would be back at state and would win state in 1941, 49, 1950, 58, 61, and 1969, becoming one of the greatest football programs in Texas history.
When I was 8, 9, 10, 11, when we made it all the way to the state championship game every year, it was quite an experience.
Joe Golding remembers it well, even riding the bus with the players and his dad, the great Coach Joe Golding.
That's my dad. That's Coach Joe right there. That's what I remember. Every player remembers.
When Ryder was constructed in the very early 1960s, along with Hershey, Joe Golding left coaching behind. He did that to become athletic director over all the high schools and not just Wichita Falls High.
Here's the school during the construction.
Jim Marks was in Ryder's first freshman class and remembers just how quickly the players grew in size and talent.
Because we didn't have a senior class in football and baseball and so forth, it was pretty rough. But as those kids matured, we began to grow in sports and became more of a winning school.
First 2 years, they had a losing record. Then the third year, they beat Old High the first 2 games they played, believe it or not.
We stole some of their good players and they left Wichita and came to Ryder, or we wouldn't have had teams. We had some good teams.
Daisy Sliger was at Ryder on the first day, and while coaching tennis, she saw firsthand the rivalry with Old High developing all activities and sports. Maybe she was even a little part of it.
It was real fun for us to beat Wichita High because we were new, and they were such an old school.
He took tremendous pride in Ryder for the accomplishments they had. And man, you go back with Joe Bob Tyler, and Bub Deerenwater and James Vanderslice, all Americans that were great football players.
Even the year we went state, we only beat Ryder, I think it was 14-0. I can't remember exactly, but it was 1 or 2 touchdowns is all. And they were a good team. They had Tommy Isabel, they had a lot of good players.
And by then, Old High's all-state running back, Joey Abusi, who scored the last touchdown in Coyote Canyon and the first in Memorial Stadium, says the rivalry had grown into something very big.
Hershey wasn't in our district. They were a 3A school. So the rivalry really was heightened with Ryder and Wichita Falls High because we were in the same classification, in the same district, and back then, one school went to the playoffs.
Old High was the high. They had championships. At that time, they had 5. And here's little brother, and that's kind of how it was looked at.
Yeah, we were kind of a second child, stepchild.
until we started beating them.
Out of control rivalry. They'd have 75 car caravans driving through neighborhoods and stuff.
I'll tell you, I was looking through the annual, and there were some pretty, well, competitive, kill the coyotes, you know, and so forth. And I'm sure they said the same thing about kill a raider, kill rider. But yeah, it was competitive.
They have a rivalry now, but you can't imagine what it was like. I had people coming over at night and putting signs in my yard and, you know, threats, and, you know, it was crazy. The whole town was on one side or the other.
It's a rivalry now 6 decades old, coming to an end. But as the last pep rally signs are being made, with 2 new high schools nearer to completion each day, there's no doubt the memories will last forever.
It wasn't a job, it was fun.
And the desire to win this Friday night one last time will be as strong for both sides as it ever was. So, when Ryder and Old High meet on the football field for the very last time Friday night, it will be for the 62nd time. The 2 teams have met twice on the field in a single season. That was in '66 and 2019. And while Wichita Falls High School has 6 state championships and Ryder has none, Ryder has been victorious in 40 of their matchups. Wichita Falls High School has been victorious in 18. 18 times they've been victorious against the Raiders compared to 40. And there have been 3 ties. But what a tradition, Tobin. I mean, it is going to be something. There's even going to be a flyover in the game from Shepherd Air Force Base.
Ryder Old High just hits different.
You know that stadium is going to be, I mean, packed.
It will be electric on Friday night. No question about it. We're going to preview the Coyotes tomorrow. We're going to preview Ryder the day after. But tonight,